Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. We're going to get another look here at ICP. We're going to double check some liquidation levels in the back end, and also talk a little bit about this this highest point here. I mean, take a look at that. It came really close to that previous week or monthly close at $21 at 1.618 fib level. So we'll need to update our fibs here as well and just kind of double check a couple of key factors since now that we've broken through that resistance range, and does look like this ascending channel here absolutely broke out. So that is awesome to see. We're going to just go ahead and pay attention to that as well. So if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. I hope you can learn something today. CryptoCash.tech is a site if you want to become a better trader. Congrats to our community members who took some nice profits on, what was it? I think it was Filecoin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Filecoin 40% in 4 days. Matic 22% in 2 days, and Solana 42% in 3 days. So awesome stuff. Those trades are still open for, those are long positions, of course, as you probably already knew. Generally speaking, it's not appropriate or ideal to conditions right now to short the market. I know this seems like a juicy target considering how high up it is, but people are getting wrecked trying to short this coin. I hear a lot about it through social media, and I think it's kind of hilarious in a small way, just because a lot of people that try to short coins are typically megalomaniacs, and they try to do all sorts of nonsensical stuff just based on overextension. And this market right now, folks, overextension means very little. It's a contributing factor, but cannot take a trade based on that. Anyways, take a look here. Late shorts between 1990 and 2050 or $20.50. They are effectively getting swept there. We have new shorts, and a big surprise, just keeps on coming, right there between 2050 and about $22 as a rough estimate. Okay. So the truth is here, there's a lot less liquidation above the price action now because of the fact that the price keeps getting swept. But of course, these very brazen shorts here up into about the $20.50 range are so far successful. Again, a lot of that happens because of the fact that Bitcoin pulled back when the market opened today, and ICP pulled back with it. Right. So Bitcoin does end up dumping. I think ICP will pull back. I don't think it'll dump. We're going to talk about key levels of retracement that we should be able to pay attention to, some dollar cost average targets. Me personally, I was dollar cost averaging between 3 and 10, so I'm super happy that I did. Honestly, I haven't invested too much in the last couple of weeks. Wish I had now, of course, at 10, that $10 to $12 range seems very attractive now. Either way, hindsight's 2020, folks. You're not going to catch every opportunity. Last but not least here on the liquidation, 16 down as low as 12 is that range that we're seeing here as a rough estimate of where the price action could pull back to, just based on lower liquidation levels. But if you look at this here, there's almost as much liquidation above the price action at 21 than there is at 16, and we're closer to 21. So again, shorts, I don't know what you're doing, folks. Please, 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 I hope you're using low leverage, low position sizing. That concentration liquidation tells me you're not, but hey, that's to each their own. Everybody has to learn in different ways. So let's go ahead and pull up our fibs based on our daily candlestick tentative closure. I like to emphasize the word tentative because today's candlestick has not closed yet, but we're going to go ahead and kind of pull this up nonetheless, just so we can get perspective on it. Again, the top is about $20.60 as a round number. So take a look at the daily here. It's not going to be any surprise. We're still very bullish. There's literally nothing we can see here that's shifting the momentum and letting us know the price is ready to pull back. We can, however, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green candles. Hypothetically, we got about 2 or 3 more green days to the upside before the price pulls back heavily. You could even argue that today is a heavy pullback, which is true. Absolutely. What do you know? It's our 3rd green day here. Typically, 3 white soldiers, we're going to see a 4th red day in general. That's kind of the concept there. So anyways, daily time frame, all good. We have no reason to be concerned with the price action or with everything we see here so far. We're truly bullish. Same thing with the 4-hour time frame. We're above all moving averages, specifically the 20, letting us know we're still on the right side of the tracks there. We could draw out a larger trend line here too, which we can kind of see a trend forming, and we got to go ahead and put that on the charts as well. So we're just going to pay attention to this. Again, trend lines are just simply that, folks. They're just kind of levels letting us know, it's helping us understand that we're establishing higher highs and higher lows still. Really, that's what it boils down to, or at the very least, higher lows. In general, that is kind of the concept. So when we look at this here, though, we see a significant amount of volume just every 12 hours jumping into this coin. So hypothetically, in 8 hours from now, we're going to see a significant amount of volume either entering or leaving this coin. However, if we can kind of look here, the amount of volume that we saw right there at this doji candle at about 1930, that was a heavy, heavy concentration of longs and shorts both battling it out. So we can see we're starting to see somewhat of a resistance. When you get a volume spike and a heavy, like a large doji candle, for example, that does imply indecision and the fact that the shift of momentum might be occurring due to the fact that we've been uptrending for so long. Okay, So really, it would make sense for the price to pull back a little bit here at this point. It just seems like a healthy consideration for a consolidation based on that one metric, but we don't base it on that. Okay, so what we want to look at here is the money flow index is extremely high. Okay, so this is going to have to be pulling back here soon. Okay, so as the MFI starts to pull back, the price should come down with it because the money flowing out of the coin, essentially. We can see, of course, that RSI is maintaining itself above 70. Generally still a good sign here to hold your position open. When RSI drops below 70 on the 4-hour time frame, that's commonly referred to as a good sell signal to take profit. Again, a lot of folks have this backwards. They think that when you hit 70, the price is overextended and you want to sell, you're going to miss out on so much opportunity if you do that. So hypothetically, say you sold when the RSI hit 70, you would have sold right here, and hypothetically the price pulls back down, the RSI goes down to 70, then we would see a nice healthy amount of extra profit. Okay? So again, I would just recommend making sure that you are not in a position where you're taking profits too early. But again, securing profits is important. I would not be upset with that still either, but generally speaking, common rule of thumb for me as a swing trader is to sell closer to when the RSI comes back down to 70 in order to get some better profits than actually trying to cross that level. Again, that's pending the RSI breaks through that level in the first place. There are some resistances that need to be reviewed. Anyways, that's just general practice, general best practice. But what we can summarize here with is the 4-hour time frame is extremely bullish. We can also identify that we are stochastically swinging down for the second time. This carries more weight, so it does imply the price action could pull back a little bit. The common retracement area initially is this first 0.236 level, so 1822 might be a consideration for another long. Once again, 0.32 probably a little bit more substantial, just based on the simple fact that we have this recent level of consolidation, and that's generally what's going to happen when you see large amounts of volume. Those provide more support than most other things. So if you're going to pay attention to any metric, I would say volume is probably the best one to look at, and we can see we have the heaviest amount of concentration in the last 12 hours, or sorry, 24 hours, right there at about $17. I'm rounding up a little bit, but $17 is an easy number to remember. So again, entry closer to 17 would make sense. I'm going to set alert just for fun, because if the price does end up pulling back to that level, I'll reevaluate and see if it's worth getting in, because that is again a volume support, and I'd much rather take trades on volume support than other metrics. Hourly time frame, let's confirm, see where we're at. We are still in good shape here, so we're in the good graces of this trade. In other words, lagging span is not intersecting with the price action. That's generally letting us know it's favorable conditions to keep your position open. Same thing with conversion line being above the baseline, and the cloud itself hanging out right there at 0.236. So again, key level support here based on more recent smaller time frames, and then secondary, tertiary supports are right here based on volume at that low secondary level at about $17 as a round number. So I'd say $18.20 to $17 would be good DCA targets here if you're adding to your spot bag, or just in general, those might be good long considerations for small leverage trades. And I do want to emphasize the word small, because you're taking a massive, large leverage trade right now when we're closer to the top and Bitcoin may pull back. It's not necessarily the best practice. So just generally speaking here at this point, pump the brakes, relax. If you're hyperventilating, think about your next trade, you're doing it wrong. If you get nervous when you take a trade, you're using too much position size or you're using too high leverage. It should never feel like you're risking everything to do a trade. And granted, some people have been successful with that a few times, but you cannot have a sustainable, it's not sustainable. There's no other way around it. It'll eventually drain your account, because you're going to double down too many times and you're going to lose your money. So folks, trade with the same position size every single trade, and make sure you have the same risk tolerance every single time too, with specific take profit targets. Don't just jump in willy-nilly and think, oh, today I'm feeling good, I'm going to go ahead and make more money today. No, that doesn't happen that way, folks. Anyways, sorry, I speak sarcastically, mainly because we have a lot of members in our community, both really good and both really green, and some newer traders have a tendency of just kind of rolling the dice, and it makes no sense to me. Why roll the dice with your portfolio? If treat this like a business, you'll get that return. Yeah, that's all there is to it. All right, so enough rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you trade Bitunix, trade ICP on Bitunix exchange. Use my link to register. Nice rewards. Be sure to check them out. No KYC or VPN required. And obviously, if you're going to jump over to our trading community, make sure that you interact with our community members. We have some awesome traders over here, and I'm super thankful to be able to work with everybody day in and day out. You're great. Thank you to my admins as well for your contribution to the community. We deeply appreciate you. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one.